Everyone. Now, as many of you know, I am not a fan of religion. However, I did grow up Catholic. And by that I mean I grew up being forced to be Catholic by my mother and grandmother. Uh, and I don't have any fond memories of the Catholic Church, except for one thing: communion wafers. Now, I never believed that it became the flesh of a 2,000-year-old dead carpenter slash sorcerer. Um, I still don't really get that. In fact, the whole communion thing I always found weird because they have this transubstantiation thing where they believe the communion wafer literally, not symbolically or metaphorically, which I could understand, but they believe it literally becomes the flesh of Jesus. So, I mean, you have this priest, and this priest stands at his altar, and he reads off this incantation or this thing, and then he takes like a big wafer, like a big like album laserdisc size wafer, and he crumples that up and puts it in like a like chalice, like a pimp cup chalice. But that's not what he actually hands out to people. And it's like, that this is my body, all that fun stuff. And then I always thought this was kind of ridiculous, mostly because of the literal thing as opposed to the figurative thing. And then I thought about it more. It's that you have this guy who comes up there wearing these opulent, like, wizard robes, and he's basically doing a spell, like a magical spell or incantation, where he takes one thing and he says, like, presto changeo abracadabra, and it turns into human flesh. And then something I learned out later was that uh, altars in Catholic churches have relics in them, which usually means what they believe to be pieces of bone from the saint that they're named after. So you have the opulent sorcerer doing a magical spell at his bone altar to make a 2,000-year-old dead guy come into bread form so that you can eat him. I know, Carl, it's ridiculous, and all animals are atheists. He's going to be Poofy in the background. I don't care if he meows. It's a funner video that way. So, and it's just weird. It's like voodoo weird. But I loved the taste of those communion wafers. So, I have wanted to do this for a while, and which is to actually eat communion wafers. The last time I took communion was before I renounced Christianity, so I must have been like 12, 13 tops. Because after the first communion, my mother and grandmother finally laid off me and stopped forcing me to go to church, where I would just patiently wait for the mass to be over so that I could go to a movie that Sunday, because Sunday ended up being movie day for some reason, even though I wanted it to be like Friday or Saturday. In any case, so it'd been a while since I'd had communion wafers. And then, lo and behold, many years later, after Amazon became a big thing and all that stuff, I found out that you could buy communion wafers on Amazon, but they were always overpriced, like $15 for 1,000 of these wheat flour wafers. Now, they also, after I moved from Rhode Island to North Carolina, they had a lot more religious stores, like Lifeway Christian, I think it's called that. And they sell the communion wafers there, but me, who probably doesn't look like a Christian, even just by the look of me, even if they didn't see the communist and atheist bumper stickers on my car in the parking lot, walking in there and buying a cellophane wrapped box of communion wafers seemed like it would be a little weird. So I decided not to do that. But now I figured, what the hell, it's about time I try communion wafers again. So I bought this, 1,000. So they come in these little tubes where they're wrapped up like Necco wafers. And, I don't know. It's, I imagine there's gotta be some weird Pornhub fetish thing where a woman puts this inside her, but I'm not gonna Google it, and neither should you. And now, these are both smaller and not as translucent as I remember the communion wafers I grew up with being. This is one of the communion wafers. I apologize for the lighting in my apartment slash kitchen, but it's all that can be. So bad lighting, cat constantly meowing in the background. It's just the way it is. So I don't have a studio or a good camera. I don't know. I could at least get a good camera, but not a studio. But anyway, here is what the community wafer looks like. They put a nice. It doesn't really look like a cross because it looks like the. You probably can't see it on here, but it looks like they're equi size and equidistant, so more like crosshairs. And they're not as I don't know. These are maybe more translucent actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the wafers I grew up with were bigger and maybe even thicker. These just sort of feel like nothing. Maybe like a little like toy tablet. You know, those toy guns that used to fire like discs. Might have been a little bit before even my time. So that's what these look like. I don't know if you can buy the ones I actually got at the Catholic Church that seem to be bigger, or maybe they were bigger because I was 10 or 12 and not. I turned 34 years old tomorrow. Fuck. Anyway, so this is the communion wafer. How do they taste? Hmm. Like a mix between rice cake, roughage, and nothing. But I like them. Mm. Mm. Can't stop popping Jesus in my mouth. Now, I know. Some person who's actually religious is going to stumble upon this video and be like, that's not Jesus because it wasn't turned into Jesus. It's unsacramented. It's not the host or something. It's like, I get it. But you know what? Even with the magic abracadabra spell, it's still not the flesh of a dead carpenter who probably didn't exist anyway. It's still just unleavened bread. So there's no fucking difference between this and whether someone in very, very gaudy robes says a spell. So I'm still going to joke that this is Jesus I'm eating. And I'm not doing the whole like weird hand gesture where it's like body of Christ, amen. And some generations thought that you had to like stick it to your roof of your mouth and you had to let it dissolve. Actually, does this dissolve? Yeah, you can dissolve and swallow it. Swallow, don't chew. Catholic Church. There's other denominations besides Catholic, but that's the one I grew up with. So that's the one I'm more familiar with as far as these things go. Hmm. You know, these are a little bland. Can I spice them up a bit? Hmm. Hmm. Spicy Jesus. Well, the Catholic Church's foothold is mostly in Latin America and stuff now, isn't it? Let's make a little Jesus, little Jesus sandwich, some sriracha and some. Hey, look! If you want to do that, it makes it a little red, so it looks like Jesus is actually bleeding. That's kind of funny, I guess. I'm always confusing funny and sacrilegious. That's not half bad. They should do this at mass. This is instead of wine, use like this is the blood, and then it's like the stigmata or something. Just put like a little sriracha in the communion wafers. And then they stick together and everything, and then it's yeah. Then it looks like it bleeds, and it. What does it say about me that I really like the taste of sriracha hot sauce between two communion wafers? I I actually did not expect that to go together well when I was planning this video. That actually tastes good. What if I want a little more of a dessert Jesus instead of a spicy Jesus? I have no idea if this is going to go together well. But... That didn't have bad either. It's kind of like a instead of like a graham cracker s'more, it's Jesus and cream. That that doesn't sound right. This doesn't seem right either though. So whatever. I wonder if I should have gotten the extra cream. That's actually not bad either. I mean, these don't taste like much of anything. So putting any other like spiciness or whipped cream on them just kind of makes it a funner thing. I don't know. Maybe you get kids to go to the Catholic Church if you meet them fun like this. Mm. Hey, this is America where people make really gaudy, bombastic foods. They put like a burger that's the size of a pizza. So what if I really make something unusual? Take one wafer here with the sriracha. Squoozing that there. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's add another layer of sriracha. Now we got 3. Now we got 3 communion wafers with some sriracha. Now that might be a little too spicy for some of the people in the audience. So let's put a little whipped cream on there. I did really get on Jesus. Come on, Jesus, get that cream. Cream on Jesus. That's a movie. And so 4 communion wafers, sriracha between 2 of the layers, whipped cream on another. Let's see if I have a stomachache for my birthday, shall we? I feel like I ate a very overpriced, spicy sundae with a really lame ice cream cone. Not bad though. I like communion wafers. I like whipped cream. I like sriracha sauce. I don't know. I feel like the Tabasco I have in the cabinet behind my bald head might not. It might be too liquidy or viscous for this, or less viscous, I suppose. I can't think. Got too much Jesus. So what's actually in here, since it's not a magical dead man? Ingredients: wheat flour and water. Store in a cool, dry place, like a tomb. I'm not sure if you can read that. Is that focusing? A little bit. Nutrition facts: serving size 1 piece. Well, fuck that. I mean all the Jesus today. Calories 0. Calories from fat 0. 0 fat, 0 sodium, 0 carbohydrate, 0 protein. This is empty nothing. Jesus is empty nothing. I mean, I've been adding some other stuff, so your miles may vary. But, I don't know. I mean, it really does, even though it's nothing, it's like air, it's still filling me up. I mean, this Jesus is so filling, I don't know how many of these I can eat. But I bought 1,000 of them. They come in a box of 1,000. But I actually like them, and they're fast to eat, so I don't actually know how long these are going to last me. Sacrilicious. I know, now, generally, people get this, because it's the body, and they'll drink a little cheap wine. Because, you know, blood. They don't use sriracha. I don't have any wine in the house. So what can I wash these down with? The Catholic Church, you know, it started in, like, Rome and everything, so wine, you know, you think Italian, you think wine. Well, maybe you think French and you think wine, but, you know. So, but you need to, I mean, you know, I'm in the United States of America, the country of Donald Trump and other shit that sucks. So I need something that really speaks to an American that's alcoholic. That could be the blood of Jesus. So I got Coors Light. You know, I mean, it's, you know, it's like cool because of the Rocky Mountain water. I mean, if it's blood, then that means Jesus' blood is cold, so he's cold-blooded. So Jesus was a lizard? Jesus' lizard people confirmed? I don't know. Anyway, when I want generic beer, I usually just get Coors or Coors Light, just on and off sense, because about 2003-ish, I went to Denver because I had some relatives who lived there, and I toured the Coors Brewery. And as far as if I just want generic no frills beer that's cheap, I just usually get Coors. I don't know. But, this is just wheat flour, this is just barley and hops and shit. Maybe these go together better than wine ever would. Let's see. I feel like I'm gonna have some sort of wheat overdose. Mm. Yeah, if I just had pretzels and like Jesus bites, little Jesus, and cheap American beer, I would just this is just all the wheat. This is just among the fields of barley. I should be playing the Sting song, Fields of Gold. That's it. I just got among the fields of barley. I keep confusing Sting and David Bowie recently because I recently watched Dune again for the first time, and Sting's in that. And I'm obviously obsessed with Twin Peaks again right now, and David Bowie was in the movie. So, I don't know. And for some reason, even though their music isn't really similar sounding and they don't really look alike, I sometimes conflate the two in my head. I mean, Jesus didn't exist, but Bowie did, right? So, I think I could do a magic spell like make this Philip Jeffries. Mm. I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know what else. I have 1,000 of these, so I can make like weird meals out of them. So, if you have any sort of communion wafer recipes that you'd like me to try, I don't think these are gonna last long. I've had some requests when I told people I'd be doing this. People asked me to like bring them some communion wafers so that they could try them. So I don't know how many I'll have these left, but if you think of ideas for things to do with communion wafers in meals, let me know. Maybe I'll test them out in future videos. But I don't know. I mean, I'm glad to have tried them again because Lord knows I ain't fucking going to a Catholic mass again in my life if I can avoid it. I mean, really, just unless it's a wedding or a funeral, I ain't stepping foot in the fucking church. So, or to vote because polling places are in churches down here because everything's in fucking churches down here. That's the end of this. I have a communal wafer sticking over from my mouth right now. get down from there, Jesus. Jesus, get down my throat. There. That's it, boys and gals. Who am I kidding? Women don't watch my video. They don't care. I'm about to get out of here.